The word Atlas usually conjures up images of worldly or strength. But how about the word Volkswagen? That's right, this is the all-new 2018 Volkswagen Atlas. And for years, I'd say Volkswagen's been kind of behind the ball compared to its competitors in terms of three-row SUVs. Well, finally, they have one. So today we're going to take this out and see if the wait was worth it. With a name like Atlas, this thing has got to be big, and it is. Just look at it. I've been really looking forward to testing this vehicle because I have its competitor, which is the Toyota Highlander, also a three-row SUV. But this thing really is big. It's a lot bigger than the Highlander. It's bold. If you look at the styling, it's actually quite square. There's a lot of edges, a lot of lines. The front hood is very high and straight with some nice accent lines to it. The grille is very straight. It's really like no other Volkswagen you've seen. Moving along to the back, it's kind of the same thing. On the side, you have these squared off fender flares, kind of like the shoulders of Atlas, carrying a lot of weight. And overall, the design is quite simple but cohesive. Now this is the top of the line Execuline model in Canada. In the US, this would be called the SEL line. So it has the best of everything, including LED headlights and tail lights, 20-inch wheels, tow hitch, and you can get an available smart power tailgate, which you just kick under for it to open. Now here's where the Atlas really differs from the Highlander. You see, this is a big double stroller. And it'll fit in here high with the third row up. That you can't do with the Highlander. We mentioned that this is the top of the line Atlas, so it has all the bells and whistles. So let's start first of all with the seats. This has the full leather seat package. And then you get in behind the steering wheel, you get the latest in Volkswagen's digital dash, meaning the entire instrument panel is digital and you can configure it to however you want. You can have your tach, your speedometer, you can put your navigation in the center, your media, whatever you want. It's a great system that's found in other Volkswagen and Audi products as well. In the center, an 8-inch screen for all your infotainment needs. Very easy to use. You have knobs for tuning and volume. Thank you, Volkswagen, for that. For connectivity, you have 2 USBs up front, 2 in the back. Below that, you have your dual zone climate control, heated seats, cooled seats in the front, heated steering wheel as well, and heated seats in the second row. On the theme of big, this also has a big, huge panoramic roof and also a big sound from the Fender audio system. And this compartment here, it's also big. I've got a drone in here. I've got my Apple TV that I got to bring back. It'll fit a lot of things in this middle console. So very similar to my Highlander. So let's get into the back to see what it's like back there. This is where the magic really happens for the Atlas, because a vehicle this size, you want room for people and cargo, and this thing has it in spades. First of all, if you look, the seats go forward and backward, just like they do in my Highlander, except these ones they go, the travel is incredible, how far and forward and back they can go. Look how much leg room you have with the car seat in here. They can't even touch the back right there. And if you want to carry more people or have more room, I mean in the back, or more cargo, you put that right to the front. You got a lot more room. The floor is almost a flat floor, and you'll see I have 2 full-size car seats here. And if you want, you can get dual captain's chairs instead of the bench. I would take the bench just because it has more utility. Where this one really excels over my Highlander is getting into the third row. You see, my Highlander, if I have the car seats in, if I want to get someone in the back, and I just had this happen a couple weeks ago with my parents, is I had to take the car seat out, tilt the seat forward, and let them get in, and then put the seat back and put the car seat back in, and then I had to do it all over again when we were at our destination and we got out. It really is a pain. With the Atlas though, you have a lever here, And with the car seat, it moves forward and it tilts, allowing super easy access to get in. Now, this third row, it's not huge right now, but there you go. I'm in there. It was no effort, but these seats are as far back as they go right now. If you move these seats forward, this is almost like a regular seat. And the rear seats are very comfortable. They feel like regular seats. They're not just little jump seats like some vehicles have for their third row. So good job, Volkswagen. And I have to mention, there are a ton of cup holders in this thing, all different shapes and sizes. So it doesn't matter how big or small you are or how big your drinks are, they're gonna fit in here. Spider in her shoe, on your shoe. So as you can see, we have the entire family in the Atlas. Why? Well, this really should be a family review. If you're wanting a vehicle this size, especially with the capacity for 7 people, you really want to look at the Atlas. So let's talk about what's under the hood first of all. There's 2 different power plants. First is a 2-liter turbo 4-cylinder engine, and that puts out 235 horsepower and 258 pound-feet of torque. And then you have what we're driving now, which is the 3.6-liter V6 engine, and that puts out 276 horsepower and 266 pound-feet of torque. Both those engines are matched to an 8-speed automatic transmission. Now here's the thing, if you want to go for the all-wheel drive, the 4Motion all-wheel drive, you have to go into the V6, and I can kind of understand that because you kind of need the extra oomph to drive those extra wheels. Now let's talk about that 4Motion system. You have a dial selector on the middle console, and you can select, first of all, different modes. Not even for the all-wheel drive, but we can go normal, we can go sport mode, which is going to enhance the throttle response. It's going to change the steering dynamics a little bit, and makes it a little livelier to drive. Remember, this is a big vehicle, but if you turn the dial, on the dial you have different drive modes for the all-wheel drive system. You have like a sand mode, a mountain mode, a snow mode, and they are very, very good. This is the latest generation 4Motion system, same as that's used in like the Tiguan and the Golf R. For a vehicle this size, you might be wanting to maybe tow something. Maybe you have a large family and you want to tow a trailer, maybe a jet ski or some toys. This one will easily do it up to a certain size. Towing capacity 5,000 pounds. Which is about normal in this class of vehicle. You can go a little bit higher. Let's say with the new Pathfinder from Nissan, that goes up to 6,000, but 5,000 is pretty well the norm. Acceleration is not blinding. We are on the freeway right now. I'm to the floor. Yeah, not the quickest vehicle, but you got to remember, this is a large, big vehicle. And we are in sport mode right now. The transmission is very smooth, and seriously, most people will just leave this in the normal mode. For fuel economy, it's not the best, but over a period of time, over a week, we've been averaging about 14 liters per 100K, which is kind of about average for a vehicle this size. This vehicle is also equipped with a lot of different safety features and available different driving aids. This one has even an automatic parking feature, and I wish there was a barrier that went up in the middle. That would be a good feature too. But it also has the lane keeping assist. You can see it's active right now. I've got the green on, so technically you can actually go and let your hands off and it'll keep you in the lane like it's doing right now. You can't do that for a long time, but it also has adaptive radar cruise control. It has pedestrian warning, rear cross traffic alert, a blind spot monitoring system. This one has all of that. And a couple other things that I noticed that are, I think, really good safety things is the backup camera is very clear on this screen, but what really helps aid you driving something this large is not just the backup camera, but the 360, like the bird's eye view camera. That is invaluable, along with the front parking sensor as well. But when you do put it into reverse and the camera comes on and you have the radio on, it actually almost mutes your audio. And I think that's a really good thing. It basically keeps you concentrated on what you're doing when you're backing up instead of listening to the radio. As for ride quality, I think Volkswagen actually kind of hit the nail on the head on this one. It doesn't wallow in the corners. It's not really cushy, but it's not a harsh ride at all. And it's pretty well good for everyday use. You know the old saying, good things come to those who wait? Well, if you've been waiting for a European designed 3-row SUV with all the utility and technology you could ever want at a reasonable price, the Atlas is for you. If you liked the video, hit the thumbs up, and if you want to see more everyday reviews, hit the subscribe button. Thanks for watching.